Countrywide Connect with Andy Thompson and Sarah Perriam-Lamp.
Right now, we're going to kick off the show with Heather Sorensen. She is the National President of Rural Women New Zealand, and they have just celebrated their 100 years. They had their Jubilee celebration over the weekend, or last Friday, I think it was, in Government House in Wellington. So I've got her on the show right now. Heather, congratulations to Rural Women New Zealand. Thank you so much for your time coming on the show. A very, very special Jubilee. How did it go? All you wanted, I guess?
Oh, fantastic. Yes, it's a great way. We've spent the last 12 months with various celebrations all around the country, and this was the highlight to complete that year. And to be able to do so at Government House with the Governor-General there hosting us was just wonderful.
It's interesting that. I'm not sure how you managed to make that all work. How do you go around getting a celebration like that actually at Government House with the Governor-General? Because I would imagine it's not something easy to do.
No, well, we're very lucky because we, as Rural Women and previously Women's Division Federated Farmers, have had a relationship with the Governor-General or their spouse since 1927. So either the spouse has been the patron or the Governor-General themselves has been the patron. So it's fantastic that we've had that longevity in our relationship through there, and we've always had great support from whoever's in the role as Governor-General, and they pay a lot of interest in what we do. They follow us and keep in touch with us, so it's a great connection.
So what did the day look like? How did you have your celebration?
Well, they hosted a wonderful high tea celebration at Government House. So we had about 100 people there that were predominantly members of Rural Women, some who'd been members for a long time, some who are very new members, plus a few special invited guests. And we all went to Government House. There was half a dozen who were selected to have a private chat with the Governor-General, Dame Cindy, prior to her arriving into the main hall. The staff at Government House had, obviously they're very good at doing these things, they set the room up very well so that we all had designated places to sit, and the Governor-General and her husband circulated around the tables, had a chat to everybody, which was great because people obviously don't normally get to meet these people, and to sit down and have a chat, have a cup of tea and some beautiful food put on by Government House was lovely. So there were a couple of speeches, lots of photos. We had to record the occasion, of course, and this all followed the night before when we'd had our Business Awards Gala dinner. So everybody was really in the right mood for having a celebration morning tea following that. And then everybody headed back home.
Yeah. And obviously it would have been amazing to have, as you said, a lot of past members there, probably past presidents as well, and just all have a jolly good catch-up, I would have thought.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there were 5 past national presidents there, which is fantastic. So that was covering a few years, and catching up with those ladies was great. We also had some family members of some of the original members who had been the 1925 ladies. So that's kind of special that during the year we've been able to track down, because they were 16 ladies that started our organisation back in 1925, and we can still connect with some of their families.
And as you said, it did start out as the Women's Division of Federated Farmers, obviously now, and then has gone into Rural Women New Zealand. When did that change? When did that change actually occur? How long was it the Women's Division?
Well, actually, if we go back a step, when it first started, it was Women's Division of the Farmers Union. And then the Farmers Union became Federated Farmers. So that was 1946 when we changed to Women's Division of Federated Farmers, and 1999 when we became Rural Women New Zealand. So, yeah,
right.
we've been Rural Women for a few years now.
Absolutely. You've been Rural Woman for a few years. And obviously, you look back over the last 100 years and celebrate everything that your organisation has achieved. But I imagine it's also about looking forward for I suppose, the next 100 years, right? Of women. What sort of things are you talking about in your organisation?
Oh, there's a lot to talk about. But interestingly, as we're heading now into our second 100 years and looking to think that in generations' time, they'll be looking back at us as the history. But what we want to carry forward is, strangely enough, much of what has been happening in the past, because the issues are still there, and we just need to be stronger and better at looking at ensuring that our rural communities are getting a really good deal around things like health, delivery of health services, because a real biggie, and education in the rural sector, infrastructure, connectivity, all those things. And the bottom line is being meaningful for the women that are in our rural communities. So we encourage any women who feel that they're rural at heart to join us, to come along, to be part of our conversations and to connect with us as we move forward and work towards the betterment of our rural communities.
And membership, younger women joining the organisation, because there are a lot of organisations out there, I suppose, competing for members, particularly in rural.
Yep, absolutely. There's a lot of competition to get women to be members, but the good news for us is that we are growing membership. We've increased our membership by 10% in the last 12 months, which I think is great, because voluntary organisations, membership organisations are all struggling with the same battle to get the attention of people to understand and appreciate the benefits of being members. So I think we're doing something right. And yes, we are getting younger women. Lots of people joke about the old ladies sitting around having cups of tea and scones. There's a space for them, very much a space for them. But we also have women much younger. In fact, I have a group that I belong to that we got going up here in the Bay of Islands, and I guess our membership ages range from in the 20s to the 80s. So we've got a great spread.
We all know the importance of rural women in our rural communities and sectors and the work that they do. Heather, thank you so much for coming on the show today. We really appreciate it. And congratulations to Rural Women New Zealand for celebrating your 100th year anniversary, 1925. That is quite some achievement in New Zealand. We are still a very young country, and to have an organisation like yourself that's been going for 100 years, it's something to be very proud of. So thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure to be here, and look forward to making many more connections over the coming years as we continue to grow and continue to celebrate various successes around the country.
Absolutely. Rightio. That is Heather Sorensen there. She is the National President of Rural Women New Zealand, and as I said, they celebrated with a high tea at Government House with the Governor-General James Cindy Kiro on, I think it was Friday actually, so pretty special day, pretty special time for them.
Countrywide Connect with Andy Thompson and Sarah Perriam-Lamp.